was organised, and that's what they did. This not showing us Kate is going to lead to a disaster. Damage control isn't making up a Mother's Day photograph. Damage control is not having a fake visit to a farm. This is terrible. The issue will be debated after the reports of intrusion to the hospital. So, God. Do you remember going back in time in 2012, two Australian DJs, Michael Christian and Mel Gregg, posed the late Queen's, Her Majesty's herself, and then Prince Charles in a prank call to King Edward's Hospital in Windsor, where Kate was being treated for acute morning sickness when she was pregnant. Remember that? The DJs did it live in Australia. You Australians, naughty, naughty. And Indian-born nurse Jokina Sajinian was found dead on December the 7th, 3 days after transferring a call to a colleague who divulged details about Kate's recovery. She ended up dead. We've got the same thing now in this clinic in London where 3 members of staff are in deep water. Are we going to lose one of them? Do you know what the press can do to people? This guy Silva, this Portuguese, he's lucky he's gone back to Portugal because he would be hounded now because he made this up. That wasn't Kate. But he's going to be the fall guy for it, right? You're not, oh, the palace aren't going to take, they never said it was Kate. Not the palace, no. No, it's the Sun. The Sun and this guy Silva take the fall for the trickery that most of our population fell for. Not me. I didn't fall for it. Not you. You didn't fall for it. You wouldn't be watching me, right? Dear, oh dear. And then there was a topless picture of Kate, remember? While she was, Charles were on holiday in the south of France, published in a paper, Closer, in September 12. Prince William and Kate were said to have reacted with anger and disbelief. Red line had been crossed. But the editor said, well, they were visible from the street and the images were not the least shocking. The royals filed a criminal complaint about invasion of privacy and got an injunction preventing further use of the images. They also launched a legal action of breach of privacy against the publisher of the magazine. They were ordered to pay £100,000 in damages. And then there was the famous Tampongate call, remember that? Call between the Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles, published in 1993. The story went into detail about an intimate conversation about the future king and queen. The conversation took place in December 1989 and was taped by a radio enthusiast. Then we got the hacking claims from Prince Harry, who got damages for hacking. Then there was the car chase. Prince Harry was in a catastrophic car chase across America, right? But this is the worst. This is the worst. Kate is now the most recognised face in the world. She's up there with Diana, and she's going through this. Is she even as strong as Diana? Has she got Diana's strength even? Good grief. Now I say to you, my friends, my subscribers, I'm a royalist, right? I'm a royalist. Queen Elizabeth and my hero. What we're going to say is get behind the princess. That's what the governments are saying as well. Asked about the breaches in the London clinic, official spokesman for the Prime Minister said clearly there are strict rules on patient data that must be followed. We have got to get behind the Princess of Wales and indeed the Prince of Wales as we wish her speediest recovery. Meanwhile, we've got to worry about our king. How ill is he? The private hospital where she was opened by the Duke and Duchess of York, a series of high-profile patients, Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, the Queen, Princess Margaret, US President John F. Kennedy. With such a roster, discretion is key. The clinic will not be helped by this recent attention. No one knew the name of it until now. The princess received abdominal surgery in January. But someone has got that information of what she had done. Privacy has been breached in the London clinic. So where does this leave the royals now? Let's analyse it. We've just heard from a royal correspondent here, Laura Butter, on the news, who offered some analysis of the latest developments, suggestions that hospital staff tampered and attempted to view the medical records to sell them. Something potentially has gone very wrong. This is a serious breach of personal data. Anyone who goes in the hospital has the right to have what's wrong with them kept secret. Remember, it's the princess or you or I, right? They're just trying to carry on. But the background noise now is so loud, they can't mute it. It's too loud to do nothing. So what happens next? The only thing that can happen next is an appearance. Maybe Easter Sunday next week, they can walk down the road together. Maybe that. A lot of it's to do with, I blame Netflix and The Crown. I know that sounds like funny to you, but I blame Netflix and The Crown for producing a fictional documentary of my royal family that now makes them fair game. We never used to do stuff about the royal family like this. They were sacrosanct. But The Crown now has opened the doors in America to them to say anything about our royal family. They can say anything they want. The Royal Drama is going to get the BAFTAs, you know. It's picked up 8 nominees. Best Acting category. It got 8 nods. 8 BAFTAs. The Crown. They're not actors. My royal family are not actors. The trouble is, there's significant interest in the royal family. Court cases, conspiracy theories, health scares, dominating around the world. Now that Crown was on for 6 seasons, right? It covered 1990 to 2005, including the aftermath of Princess Diana's death, meeting Kate and Charles and Camilla's wedding. Dominic West, who played Prince Charles, up for Best Actor, while Elizabeth Dubek, Princess Diana, and Princess Margaret and Al Fayed are all shortlisted for supporting roles. So that's going to boost it even more, right? It's bound to win, isn't it? The Crown, after all this, is going to go off, isn't it? But I'm going to have to ask you the question, do you still trust the royal family? More than half the people in the UK have seen conspiracy theories on social media about the Princess of Wales being absent. However, it appears that it hasn't dented trust. I believe it has. When conspiracy theories meet the royals, who usually wins? Well, if you make up a stupid series that, if you say, like, oh, Kate was murdered and she's buried under the patio on Balmoral, that doesn't help people like me who are trying to do serious investigations into crime and the royal family. It doesn't help us when people come out with this crap, right? Speculation about her health and whereabouts have been rife. How do the royals brush with TikTok, people like myself, affect them? And does the palace need to rethink its public relations strategy in the age of social media? Well, they've admitted it today. They've just put a job. I might apply for it. Maybe they should what do they say? Poacher turned gamekeeper. Maybe they should approach me and ask me to do the job. I know what's going on. They're going to employ somebody that knows nothing about it, aren't they? I know all about YouTube and TikTok and how it works and how the trolls work. I've been trolled just as much as these two, believe it or not. So there we go. Are they going to cope with? I mean, they're still living in the dark ages, aren't they? The royals. They're in a bubble. Have you ever seen them try to talk about real life? They haven't got a clue. They meet somebody and they go, "Oh, how are you? What's your job then? Oh, how interesting." They have no real conversation. They've never, like, for a start, Kate Middleton's family They're worth £50 million. William's mum, when she died, left 50 million in loose change to give to Charles. They're actually worth something like £26 billion, the royal family. She had just 50,000 lying around that she accumulated over the years, 50 million that she just accumulated over the years, you know. She didn't know what to do with that. It's money that you can't understand. The royal family's worth £26 billion. We're worrying about buying a loaf of bread and paying an electric bill. But they do have to work for it, and they have to give up their privacy. They've had to give up their privacy. So I say again, it's been released, breaking news. The magazine that released the farm pictures and video have admitted it wasn't Kate Middleton. It wasn't Catherine, Princess of Wales, at the farm shop. And that's why the pictures were so blurry, because they tried to trick you. And when you ask a simple question, why, how come no one took a picture while they were there? Because they weren't famous. They weren't the people that you were told they were. They were just two actors or whatever they were, lookalikes. And the excuse was, well, we didn't know. They looked like them, so we thought it was them, right? This guy from Portugal that filmed it and sold it to the magazine, he needs to give the money back. Because they used it to con us, the public. They conned the public into believing it's them. But you notice the palace never said it was us. William never said, oh yeah, that was us at the farm shop. He's done loads of duties all over the country since. He could have easily said, no, that wasn't us at the farm shop. Why did you let us believe it, William? Why did you let us believe the now discredited film at the farm shop was you? And you've been every day this week in a position to say, actually, that wasn't us at the farm shop. But you didn't, did you? And you, Buckingham Palace, you knew full well that wasn't William and Kate, because they have Secret Service following them everywhere they go. They have a diary every minute of their day where they are. It wasn't at the Windsor farm shop. Why did they let us believe it was them? This is deception of the highest order. And I'm far from letting them get away with this. So where does this leave now, this thing with the so-called affair with a neighbour? Did this really happen? There's more to this than meets the eye. We know about her father and Camilla. If you watch my videos that I did today about the Viscount of Cholmondeley, and I tell you now, it's fair and square, right? The Viscount of Cholmondeley, who's called Rock something, Rock, he's got a crazy name, like a rock star. He is very close to the king. Now, although this, I don't want to say her name even now, he's accused of having an affair with this Rose, Viscount of Cholmondeley, right? He's accused of having an affair with Rose. Rose's husband, believe it or not, is so close to the royal family you wouldn't believe. Rose's husband carries the crown around for the Queen at state occasions. Yes. Viscount of Cholmondeley carries the staff at the opening of Parliament. Viscount of Cholmondeley, Rose's husband, was Lord-in-Waiting when King Charles was crowned. He was by his side. How embarrassing for Kate would this be if this right-hand man, right-hand man of King Charles, who's the husband of the woman that your husband's having an affair with. They're so close, the King and William and Viscount of Cholmondeley, Rose's husband. that their son was one of the page boys walking behind Charles when he was crowned. So you've got the possible mistress invited to the crowning. You've got her husband as the king's right-hand man, and you've got Rose's child stood behind Prince Charles as a page boy. Does this have shades of Camilla and Charles? What was I telling you yesterday about promotion if you keep quiet? You couldn't be more promoted, could you, than Lord in waiting to the king, or your son is a page boy at the crowning, and the woman accused of being a mistress of the future king is invited by Camilla to the wedding, and Kate refuses to curtsy to Camilla. Now, I know there's stories going around about the children in this relationship, and there's stories going around about Viscount Cholmondeley that he might be prefer men to women. You can see it on my film. It's a spectacularly dangerous situation. How would that affect Kate's mental health? If everything I just told you, obviously she's aware that Rose was accused of having an affair with her husband. Yet she's had to go to the crown of the king and see this woman who's accused at the wedding, but she never speaks to her or even looks at her. The woman is invited to the wedding by Camilla, the crowning by Camilla. Yet they broke up all relations with the Viscount of Cholmondeley in 2019 when the affair first rose. So you've got Kate instigating isolation of the Cholmondeleys, but you've got Camilla inviting them to the wedding, and King Charles having the possible mistress's husband as the Lord in waiting to watch over him. And you've got the son that he's been accused of being involved with as the page boy. And those aren't conspiracy theories. Everything I've just told you is fact. What's that going to do to her? I'd crack, would you? Even if it wasn't true. It's in the papers that he was having an affair with Rose. Rose's husband is the #1 man for the king. They choose this son who's been accused of being involved with him as page boy. How horrible is this for Kate to go to the crowning of the king and see this going on like some sort of soap opera? And why's Camilla invited Rose? Camilla knows that this Rose was accused of having an affair with the future king, yet she still invites Rose and she turns up there. Poor Kate. I'm not saying he had an affair with her. What I'm saying is her husband never got married or was seen with women till 44. He got married at 44. Why has he got married at 44? Because he's got a massive castle and he needs to pass his title on to a son and heir. And again, as usual, they have to find a woman to bear the children. Rose was chosen at 19 to do this. He's like 24 years older. Once they've got the kids, he spends most of his time in France with like Johnny Depp and like writers and like Parisians and like strange people, and he's been accused of being from like he likes men. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Now, our future queen's knows all this information I just told you, and imagine her shock when she finds out that Rose has been invited to the wedding. Whether she's done it or not, she has no right to be there, taking the thunder away from Kate. It's embarrassing. So which of this is rumour, it doesn't matter. Because whether it's lies or whether it's the crown or whether it's really happened, Rose shouldn't have been at the coronation because it's blown it up. It's blown it up. They haven't got the sense they're born with. Now, come on. I'm right, aren't I? William, you shouldn't have let Rose come to the coronation because it set it all up again. You shouldn't have let Rose's son, who your son plays with all the time, be a page boy when you're being accused of an affair with that woman. And her husband is the #1 man for Charles. What's going on? And it'd be easy to say that's why Camilla invited her, because Camilla is jealous of Kate's beauty. I know it's a lot to take in, and I know some of you won't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but some of you will know what I'm talking about. So who is Prince William, Norfolk neighbour, friend, the Marquess of Cholmondeley? You can see my videos right beside this one. To be fair, he looks he looks that way. So the Marquess of Cholmondeley was appointed Lord-in-Waiting for King Charles III, while his son, Lord Oliver Cholmondeley, was one of the monarch's pages of honour at the coronation. Yet, his wife is accused of having an affair with his son. Work that one out, how they let this go. Good grief. Now, I've got to tell you, they used to be good friends. Oh, yeah. They'd meet up, their neighbours, they'd kissy, part of the set, all part of the set. Used to be seen together all the time as a foursome. Soon as the affair was leaked, if it was one or not, they broke off all contact until the coronation of the king, and they've all come out the woodwork. This is Camilla's doing, isn't it? I don't know what the king's doing. What's he doing? What's he making? Oh, I don't know. So David is the 7th Marquess of Cholmondeley, and his wife Rose, the Marquess of Cholmondeley, repeatedly encouraged their neighbour, the Princess of Wales, to slip off to techno music festival held in the grounds of Norfolk House. You know, things like that. They used to do stuff like that, right? I don't know what's going on. As a permanent Lord-in-Waiting, the Marquess attends important state and royal occasions. He also represents His Majesty in royal events. For example, one of his predecessors, Viscount Beaverborough, was called upon to welcome President and Mrs. Trump on the behalf of the Queen Elizabeth. The Lord-in-Waiting is a big position. Permanent. He's just got the sack, by the way. Waiting means that he is a retired senior official of the royal household. He's just been replaced by someone else. Work that one out. He's no longer Lord-in-Waiting after the week. No, I could say it's connected, couldn't I? He's got the push. No doubt connected to Kensington Palace saying, look, this is all going to come out. You can't have him as your best friend. Get rid of him now before it hits the fan next week. It's all going to hit the fan this week. I'm telling you this in advance of what's going to happen. Whether you believe me or not, no, I don't care. This is all true. He's no longer Lord-in-Waiting. Why? So, titled Viscount Malpass at his birth, he became the Earl of Rocksavage in 1968 and the Marquess of Cholmondeley in 1990. He's married to ex-fashion model Rose Hambury. She's now 40, just 40. They wed Chelsea 2009. They met on holiday in 2003. She's 23 years his junior. Oh yeah. The couple live in Holton Hall in Norfolk, which is 4 miles from Amer Hall, where the Prince and Princess of Wales country retreat is, where I believe Kate is all this time and always has been. I believe she is ill and she's away from the public eye, being looked after in Norfolk. I believe Paul Burrow. I think he's right. I think that's where she is. I don't think the children are with her. Convenient, isn't it, that they're good friends living so close together. They have 2 boys, Alexander and Oliver. They're twins. A daughter, Lady Iris. I'm not even going to tell you the rumours about their birth. I'm not even going to go there. But if you go to America, the parenthood of those 3 children is being questioned as I speak. But I'm not going to question it. Holton Hall was built by the first Prime Minister of the UK, Sir Ralph Walpole, the world's first Prime Minister. And it's hosted lots of sculptures in its grounds, and it's well known for art. The Queen was a good friend of the Marquess of Cholmondeley. He had the official position of Lord Great Chamberlain until the death of the late Queen, a role which involved carrying a crown at state openings, as well as wearing distinctive scarlet court uniform, and bears the gold key and the white scarf of the insignia of his office. The role has now been passed on this week to Lord Rupert Carrington, the 7th Baron Carrington, following the death of the monarch. His duties will include dressing the King on Coronation Day, investing the monarch with the insignia of rule, as well as serving the monarch water at the coronation banquet.